Okay, looks like we have everybody connected. Sir at the jail, can you tell me your name, please?
Alex Stouffer.
Mr. Dofer, okay. All right, on the record in People versus Alex Dofer, this is file number 256896 and 6895. The record should reflect Mr. Dofer's appearing today by video from Otsego County Jail. If I could have both counsel put your appearances on.
Good morning, Your Honor. For the record, Mike Roll on behalf of the people.
Larry Brown on behalf of Mr. Dofer.
All right, Mr. Dofer, you're before the court today because you failed to appear for a hearing in each of your files here in circuit court back on October 20th of 2025. The court issued a bench warrant based on that failure to appear. Do you understand why you're before the court today?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Brown, have you, it looks like you're Mr. Dofer's counsel of record. Did you have an opportunity to speak with him prior to this hearing today?
I did, Your Honor. He gave me some information. I believe his fiance sent me some information that he did not get mail. I did review that. She actually called my office. I spoke with her. I don't think that is necessarily going to help him out too much in this particular hearing, so I'm not sure how he wants to proceed at this point. We are going to need an update on the record too.
Okay, Mr. Brown, I guess one of my questions, because in looking at the paperwork that I got for the hearing today, it looks like there was also an FOC bench warrant for Mr. Dofer. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So, and it looks to me like based on that Mr. Dofer is going to be, he either needs to make $1,000 payment or he's got to do 30 days in jail. Is that correct?
I believe so.
All right, Mr. Dofer, as to the friend of the court matter, which is separate than the files that we're talking about today, but are you going to make that payment or are you planning on serving that 30-day sentence from the friend of the court warrant?
It looks like it's like a $4,000 payment. There was 4 warrants for child support.
Okay.
There was 2 $1,000 ones, and I have no clue, Your Honor. I really don't. I'm gonna try to make them.
Your Honor,
I really don't have the means.
Okay. Mr. Brown, go ahead. Was there something you wanted to say?
I think those, I was going to say there may be some in district court as well, but those may be the FOCs.
Okay. All right. So it's my intention at this time to order that Mr. Dofer's bond remain in these 2 files remain revoked. The court is going to set this for a status conference at its next date, which I think would be probably next Wednesday or next Monday. For a status conference in these felony files. It's my view that based on what Mr. Dofer's indicated that he's more than likely going to be remaining in jail on the FOC warrant. So I think that the bond decision here is largely irrelevant, at least for the next 30 days.
Your Honor, is there any way I can get a bond on that? Because I might be able to bond out. Like to do no bond on it is just kind of silly, I think.
Well, you not showing up for your hearings is kind of silly too. So
no, I understand that, Your Honor. And if my lawyer would explain to you what happened, I'm sure that you might,
I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter what he says. You weren't here. There's no good reason for you not being in court when you're supposed to be in court. So
okay, can I explain for myself then, Your Honor, instead of my lawyer?
You can, but it's not going to matter. But go ahead.
Okay. Well, I would still like to explain for myself. My father has had a stroke. I was downstate. I got wind from my attorney that I had a warrant out for my arrest for missing court. I contacted him. I told him, I said, hey man, he said that I had court coming up. I said, hey, I'm downstate with my father. If there's any way that you can get this matter adjourned. He got back to me, said that it didn't have any effect, which that's fine. the main thing is that my mail's not going where it's supposed to be going, Your Honor. I have text messages proof that my ex-girlfriend's been getting rid of my mail. It's not that I got the mail and I knew that I had the court date and didn't show up, Your Honor. I didn't know. I was downstate with my father, man. This is not like some intentionary, I'm out here trying to evade you or not take care of this problem, Your Honor. This is serious to me. I put up a $10,000 truck on my bond. Like this isn't a joke, and I'm sorry that I wasn't here. I just don't
Alright,
think
well-
that the situation is lit and everybody's seeing what's going on. I mean, it was literally a miscommunication and a genuine accident.
Your Honor, if I could.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I did get those text messages that Mr. Doper is talking about regarding his mail. He does have some mail going to a different home. He does have some mail going to, from what I could figure out, at least 3 separate addresses. I don't know if maybe he thinks if he updates one court with an address that they just call everybody and update everybody else. But I did advise
I've
that
given
he
you guys
stepped-
the address and I've given that court the address too. Everybody has the proper address. I don't live at 336 West Main. I don't live at PO Box 55. I don't live at 16920 South States Highway. I live on Leland Trail. That's the address you guys have. I provided that.
Yeah, either way, you know, regardless, it's your responsibility to know when your court hearings are. If you don't get mail, to call the court, find out when your next hearing is, to call your lawyer, find out when your next hearing is. It's not our job to chase you down and figure out which address is the right one out of the 4, however many addresses you have. It's not our job to make sure your ex-girlfriend or your girlfriend gives you your mail. That's not our responsibility. Our responsibility is to schedule your hearings,
sir.
to send out notice to the best address we have, and then the rest of it's up to you. That's why none of that is an excuse, and that's why I told you that at the beginning. None of it is a reason for me to change anything about your bond. So that's why we're going to go forward. I want to make sure you're here for that next hearing, and the only way to do that is to make sure that you're not out of jail at this point. So the court's going to deny bond until that next hearing date. We're going to get you scheduled as quick as we can. Again, I said, you know, it'll be within the week. And we'll go forward with your case at that time. So that's the order of the court as to this file. Mr. Rolla, is there anything that you needed to address for the record on either of these files today?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay.
Judge,
All right,
would
so-
you like, I'm sorry, would you like us to update his address? I do not have the Leelanau address.
Yeah, we can do that through the jail. If
Okay.
you want to fix with the jail, I don't
Okay.
want to put. Okay.
Thank
All right, thank you. That's all for this hearing today. And if there's a jail officer there, if you can bring Mr. Price into the room, please.
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, is your name Michael Price?
Yes, Judge.
All right, we'll go on the record in People versus Michael Price. This is file number 6219. The record should reflect Mr. Price is appearing today by video from Otsego County Jail. Mr. Price, you're before the court today based on your arrest on a bench warrant that was issued back on July 6th of 2023 for your failure to appear here in court for a hearing on that date. And looking at the file, there was at least one failure to appear prior to that July date in June 7th of 2023. Do you understand why you're before the court today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Brown, are you appearing as counsel of record on this file? It looks like Mr. Gilo was the previous counsel. Or are you appearing just as standby today?
I am just standby today, Your Honor. Mr. Gilo was previous counsel. I don't believe he is taking these matters anymore. Is he still counsel of record? He may need to do a substitution.
Okay. Have you had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Price prior to the hearing today?
Yes, I have.
Okay. All right. What I'd like to do is get this set for a status conference at the court's next available date. The previous bond had been revoked, so the court's going to set a new bond here today. Mr. Rolla, on behalf of the people, do you have any position regarding a new bond pending the court's status conference in this case?
Yes, Judge, very briefly. And in addition to what the court's indicated, I'd also note that if the court will recall back on May 3rd, 2023, the defendant had a previous history where he called in, the court issued a show cause order. And he thought that even though he was ordered to appear, he was just going to call in. The defendant's record of not appearing before the court, obviously, then we had one in June 6th of 2023 and other matters that the court referred to. So I think a cash bond has to be posted in order to require and make sure the defendant's going to appear. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Brown?
Your Honor, in my conversation with Mr. Price, he is currently working full-time. He has two children, two twin girls, I believe 9 years old, that he's living with, that reside with him along with his fiance. He had some issues with the vehicle. I believe he did call the court. Again, this was several years ago, not my case, but he has a very good vehicle now, very good job. Even though this was a long stint here back in 23, to the best of my knowledge, he has not obtained any new charges. He is staying out of trouble. And he does not want to lose his job over this or anything that he's worked for. He would be willing to do pretty much anything, a tether. So I would ask court to take all that into consideration when setting a bond.
All right. It looks like this case was bound over in 2021. Again, it's been over 2 years that Mr. Price has been absconded from the court's jurisdiction in this case. So the court finds that a high bond is necessary to ensure Mr. Price's appearance at the next hearing, which the court will set for next week, so that we can get this matter resolved given the long period of time that Mr. Price's whereabouts have been unknown. So the court is going to set bond in the amount of $50,000 cash or surety. Again, the court will set this for a hearing at its next available date, which should be next week. And then we'll proceed with Mr. Price's case at that time. Mr. Brown, I'm going to just ask that that you reappoint a new counsel for Mr. Price, since Mr. Gilo is basically retired. And then we'll go forward at that time. Mr. Roll, anything further from the people today?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Brown?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, thank you. That's all for this hearing today. The court's going to disconnect from the jail at this time.
Yep.
Hey, what the heck are you guys doing?
I definitely don't see the jail.
I will give them a call.
And Teresa's now in here, but
He just, okay,
okay.
he just let us know. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Can you guys hear me okay there?
Yes, we can. I'm sorry about that, Your Honor. We're having
Oh, that's okay.
issues that you brought up.
No problem. All right, sir, are you Glenn Kendall?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Second. And Stacy, are you ready to proceed?
I am, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll go on the record. This is matter of Simmons versus Kendall, and this is file number Kalkaska County file number 11-10852. I'm conducting this hearing on behalf of Judge Boudet today. The record should reflect that Mr. Kendall is present in the courtroom in Kalkaska along with Ms. Leach from front of the court. Mr. Kendall, you're before the court today for an arraignment on a bench warrant for failure to pay child support. Do you understand why you're before the court today?
No, I don't. I understand this is a civil infraction, and I don't know why I'm being held on a civil infraction that is a payable debt.
Okay.
It's
well,
unlawful. It's unlawful to arrest somebody on a civil infraction that even the officers are saying this is a civil infraction that I should not be in here.
Okay, it's not a civil infraction, and there are criminal penalties for failure to pay child support. So the law says that you can be incarcerated for failing to pay child support for various reasons. So you're incorrect on your statement of the law there.
That's what I was told.
Well, you were
That it
told
was a civil
wrong.
infraction.
Okay, I'm
Even the
informing you.
officers- And your officers are even saying that it's a civil infraction.
Okay, if
Child
they
support
said that,
is-
if
Yes,
they said that, which I'm not sure that they did, maybe that's what you heard, but that may not be what they actually said. I'm a circuit court judge. I'm telling you that the law is, if you're found guilty of failure to pay child support, that's a contempt of court. If it's your first finding of contempt for failing to pay, you could face up to 15 days in jail. If it's
What
a
I don't
second or
understand
subsequent,
is, what I didn't understand about the whole child support is it's supposed to be a mediator between the friend of the court is supposed to be a mediator between the two parents. It's not supposed to be a profit made upon two parents. And as long as a judge is taking the case, they're getting paid for it. I'm wondering why everything I've looked up and all the things like Elon Musk is saying that the friend of the court right now is under suspicion of fraud, and that they were looking at that stuff. That's what I've been reading online. So how is it that all this is going on and I'm going to get arrested over a debt that's payable? How is that going to help me? With my wife is sitting out there now, who just ended up having to go to the hospital because she's having a breakdown, because we're both having a breakdown. And now I can't take care of her. I'm the one that gives her medical attention. I'm the one that gives her medicine to sleep at night. I'm the one that makes sure she eats every day like she's supposed to. I'm the one that's always with her. And now I can't even take care of my wife who's sitting there because I'm going to be in handcuffs and sitting in here. How is that going to help me to throw me in jail? Within 45 days, I get out and I'm gone again. I mean, it's not going to help me any by taking away my right to be on the street and actually try to find a job, which I have been trying to do. I have stopped at Bear Trust. I have called all kinds of different places. My brother just said a True Frog and Gaylord is hiring. I'm trying to find a job. And I have no place to stay but my car and an old camper that's falling apart that I'm trying to fix. I don't know what to do. I'm trying to take care of my wife. I'm trying to take care of us, trying to eat, trying to anything. And she's saying I'm looking at 45 days right now. And I'm like, what is that going to do for my wife and that, who has no family to go to now because her rights were taken away from her children and stuff. So she doesn't have anybody that she can go to right now. And I'm the only one there to give her her meds and do all that. So basically it's like, give up on life then? What? I'm supposed to be the next one to wrap a sheet around my neck and say, screw it, because I can't take care of my family. I'm no good for anybody. I'm locked up in here. It's not going to help me.
okay.
I don't even know how she's doing right now. The best bet for me to do is I have so many days to come back in here again with a job thing every day if I have to. Stop in here and give her a slip. This is where I filled out an application. Because once you lock me up, I mean, it's not going to do any good.
I'm just waiting until you're done, because I do need to tell you what your rights are and so forth about how we're going to proceed. So can I do that now?
I'm just.
Okay. So as a parent of a child, you have an obligation to support that child financially. And that's what the friend of the court does, is ensure that parents are meeting that obligation, that legal obligation. And to that end, the court issued an order that required you to pay child support. When you fail to obey an order of the court, you get charged with contempt, and contempt is punishable. In this case, if it's a first finding of contempt for failure to pay child support, of up to 45 days in jail. If it's a second or subsequent, up to 90 days in jail. So that's the legal authority for the court to incarcerate you. You do have the right to have a hearing as to whether or not you should be found in contempt. You have the right to have an attorney present at that hearing. And if you want to have that hearing, then I would set a bond that you would have to post or remain in jail until we can have that hearing.
Can I also ask for a paternity test to be done? I want to know this kid is mine then. I've never had that done. I haven't seen her in 10 years. I have to, if I have to pay every time, I know I'm supposed to have rights to see my child. I don't even know what she looks like, Your Honor. I haven't seen my daughter in over 10 years. I have no clue even how pretty she is or how smart she is or anything. I don't even know what she looks like. I haven't seen my daughter. I don't even know her.
Okay, we're not going to deal with any of that here today. We're trying to figure out how we're going to go forward with this contempt charge. Let me ask Ms. Leach. Ms. Leach, do you have a recommendation? I mean, how did you want to go forward today? Did you want to proceed with the contempt proceeding?
I would, Your Honor. Would you like some of the background information that I have?
Yeah, please.
Mr. Kendall has a monthly obligation of $475. His arrears at this time are $8,915.05. Last payment we received on this case was in June of $289.88. I did speak with him this morning on the phone. He had told me that he at one point had moved to North Dakota to take a job out there. He claims that he didn't stay out there because the guy was abusive to his wife, but he came back here. He told me this morning that he's living in a fifth wheel camper that's really nice, that he's been doing some remodeling on it. He told me that he was given a car by his wife's mother. He did mention that he's gone to a few places to apply for work, but he also mentioned to me that he's been back in Michigan for about a month now. And the few places that he's told me that he's gone and looked for jobs doesn't seem to me that he's really putting out the effort to be out there finding a job. I mean, most people would be pounding the pavement every single day. We don't have anything that states that he can't work in any capacity. We don't have any doctor's note. We have nothing from him in that. We don't even have a good address for him at this point.
I don't have
We
an address.
would be asking for a finding of contempt. He has had multiple bench warrants on this case, but he has not had a previous finding of contempt. So he would be looking at the 45 days. And then I would just ask to leave the purge amount at the $2,400. That includes the $100 bench warrants cost. And that's what Judge Boudet had ordered on October 6th of 2025.
Okay. All right. So, and I'm not sure, Ms. Leach, how Judge Boudet handles these arraignment hearings, but unless Mr. Kendall wants to admit responsibility and plead guilty to the contempt, what I typically do is have it set for a hearing. So that would be my intention today. So Mr. Kendall, those are your options. I told you what your rights are in terms of having a hearing before Judge Boudet, who is the assigned judge to this case. So you do have the right to have a hearing. You have the right to be represented by counsel because there's a potential criminal penalty here. Or you can plead guilty here today. So how did you want to proceed?
I'm gonna have to plead guilty. I mean, I have no choice. I mean, I obviously didn't pay, but I've been trying to find a job and I just got the car not even 2 weeks. And I've been out hitting the street with the car looking for a job. I just got it where it's got plates on it, just got this for it. And no, the camper's not nice. I'm staying in a camper that's shitty, trying to fix a camper to be nice. The whole back end of it's open right now. And if it starts snowing in the next 45 days and me being arrested, there goes my camper, there goes my stuff. There goes that. There goes everything. I got no way to take care of my wife.
All right, based on the information regarding the arrearages and statements of Ms. Leach here on the record today, the court finds that you have failed to pay child support out of available resources or failed to exercise due diligence. So the court will find you in contempt for failure to pay child support. The court will impose a 45-day sentence in the Kalkaska County Jail. The court will allow you to be released with the purge amount. And is that the $2,400 purge amount, Ms. Leach?
Yes, Your Honor.
I don't know
Okay,
anybody.
so if you were able to make that $2,400 payment and $100 in court costs, then the court, you would be released immediately and would not have to serve that entire 45 days. Otherwise, you will be remanded to the Kalkaska County Jail for that period of time based on the court's findings here today. And Ms. Leach, will you prepare an order reflecting that finding of the court?
I will, Your Honor, and I will fax it over to your secretary, Jennifer, if that works.
Okay. All right. thank you. That's all for this hearing today.
Thank you. Again, sorry about the confusion with the Zoom.
No problem.